Today's August. In September, I'll probably eventually figure out that it's September. I'll probably be saying August and September. Whatever. 27th. This is the 27th. This is episode 48. Yeah, I think so. Last night was the probably, I would say it's probably the biggest fight in my lifetime for sure, because Pacquiao, Mayweather really, I think that was it's probably between those two. I think if the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight had happened 2 or 3 years before, I think that fight's probably bigger than this one. But since that one took so long for it to happen, I think it took away a little bit of the hype, a little bit of the hype behind it. So last night, I would say that's probably the biggest fight in my lifetime, maybe the biggest fight. I don't know that much about boxing, so I'm not going to say it's the biggest fight of all time, because I'm sure there was probably fights in like the 60s or 70s or 80s or probably even the 90s that were maybe just as big. But as most of you probably already know, it was Mayweather. Mayweather won in the 10th round by TKO. I think it was I watched the fight. I think it was, they ended it pretty quickly. I think if they had let it go on, there's probably a decent chance that Mcgregor would have been knocked out fully. It was a technical knockout because the ref stopped the fight. Like I said, I think if that fight goes on, if the ref lets that fight go on, that fight's over by regular knockout. And the ref, I thought the ref was hilarious, because at the very beginning, when they're in the middle and the ref's talking, first of all, the ref is holding each of the boxer's gloves. I guess it was that the camera angle wasn't totally on his hands, but he wasn't holding the microphone. Someone was holding the microphone behind him. Like, as a kid, when you'd have someone stand behind you and they put their arms underneath your armpits and they'd pretend like they were you moving their arms, that's what it looked like. I thought that was pretty funny. Actually, so before that, with the intros, which I thought were good, I thought I was interested to see that neither of the fighters brought out any celebrities. I know Mayweather's kind of been notorious for doing stuff like that, and McGregor, I think, probably had a lot of people on his side. But, I think the thing was a lot of people that weren't celebrities wanted McGregor to win. But then all of the celebrity people with money, I guess you could say, they all thought they all wanted Floyd to win. I think you saw a lot of celebrities saying that they were on the money team or whatever. And then Floyd had his intro. He came out in the ski mask, which for him I think is a really hilarious. I mean, it was definitely something where I looked at the intro and I was like, well, what is he going to do to really shock people? And I thought that was very interesting. I thought that was pretty funny that he came out with the ski mask. Then the fight kind of goes on. I think I'm not a expert of boxing or MMA or any type of fighting, so this analysis isn't going to be top notch. But the fight started out with, I thought McGregor was doing fine at the beginning, getting the shots in that I thought were good. See, this is where my analysis is going to come in. Good shots. And then as the fight kind of kept going, Floyd was doing something I found was weird. Was he was turning his back, which would lead to a stoppage, but McGregor, whenever he turned his back, he always made sure he got a shot or two in there. And I don't exactly know how the points exactly work. I think you get like points deducted for doing that, and he was also coming in with those hammer fists over the top, which I definitely don't think you can do that. And McGregor had a clear martial arts type of style where he had the one hand out. He didn't have his hands up really at all, to be honest. And I don't think he had a chance, to be honest. So I don't really think that had made that much of a difference. I think it probably helped, I suppose, because that's a style. They kept saying during the fight, like, this is a style that we've never seen Mayweather fight this way. We've never seen Mayweather kind of coming at his opponent, which is what the announcers kept saying. And if in the case where McGregor had ended up winning, I don't know. I think changing up your style, I guess changing up the style just because he knew he was going to knock him out, so maybe that's why. It wasn't actually boxing. He was obviously, well, he was boxing, but he wasn't boxing against someone who knows how to box, so that led to the TKO in the 10th, which I think they probably told the ref that, look, if it looks like it's going down, just stop the fight. For McGregor's brand, if he gets knocked out, that looks pretty bad. So, sure, he didn't go to the ground, but as an MMA fighter, you say if you're up, this is what I heard this morning. Most MMA fighters will tell you if they're still on their feet, then they think they still have a chance. Which I could see as being correct, because for an MMA fighter, either you're on the ground or you're getting tapped out. Obviously, with boxing, it's a little bit different, but led to the TKO in the 10th. Interesting statistic that I saw from one of the sports books in Vegas was 90% of the bets were for McGregor, but 80% of the money was for Mayweather. McGregor, 90% of the bets. Mayweather, 80% of the money. Obviously, that's just a bunch of people saying, "Oh, just throw $100 on McGregor or whatever." Because if you, by the end of the fight, or by the time the fight started, it was for a $100 bet, it was $220 for McGregor, and you'd only win $20 if you were betting on Floyd. Once the fight was about a day away. I think when the lines first came out, it was on the side of if you bet $100, you won $1,100, I think. So, yeah, I think that, I mean, yeah, so that's going to be it for the show today. Here we go. Adam Speaks on iTunes. Go leave a review, download, all that fun stuff. YouTube, you can see it there. SoundCloud, but iTunes preferably. That's going to be it, everyone. See ya.